Hey guys, so we're back today with part 2 of 3 parts of our story on the West Mesa murders in New Mexico. And we jump right back in where we left off with part 1. So if you haven't watched part 1, watch part 1. It's got all the important details. You'll be lost in episode 2 if you don't watch part 1. But it is about the disappearance of sex workers in the West Mesa area. It's about the work of one detective, Ida Lopez, who just amazing instincts, just absolutely amazing instincts in this woman. Didn't let any of the naysayers change her view on what she knew was there's a serial killer in my area taking out my people. And I'm going to find these women because they deserve to be found. And I'm going to bring this person to justice, or I'm going to try my damnedest. And so we pick back up with her investigation, and some major breaks finally happen that really get the ball rolling. It's an incredible story about this woman who I really feel like her passion, her quiet strength and passion and intuition inspired those around her, not only in her own department, but within the FBI, and the families really felt supported by her. And despite it being a terrible story of the murder of these poor women, it's a story of trusting your gut and good police work. So stay tuned to hear part 2. Hi, guys. Hello.
Hey, welcome.
We were just chatting about my son's musical taste, but then thought we should involve you all. So welcome to our channel, 2 Peas in a Crime Pod.
Episode 57, part 2.
Deuce.
This is a 3-parter. We're doing the West Mesa murders. And we finished part 1 a couple days ago, and now we're doing part 2. And we're going to find out what Miss Ida Lopez discovers in her investigation.
Yes. So,
but in the meanwhile, we're talking about 8-year-old Harvey, who has a very eclectic music taste.
My son, he's the old soul, your classic rocker. And if I tell him, he's just you can influence him. So if I'm like, "Oh, buddy, let's give this one a good listen. I really think you'll like this." He's like, "Yeah," and it's like Hall & Oates, and he's like, "I do like this," and but he's drawn towards like rock and country western, and then of course pop and K-pop Demon Hunters and whatever's on, but he loves like country roads
stuff you wouldn't think.
Like the first time he heard that, it just transported him.
Yes,
The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Oh, he loves The Devil Went Down to Georgia. That one line.
Told you once, you son of a bitch. I'm the best it's ever been.
Oh, he says
Harvey could fight a grizzly bear in that moment. He just takes him.
Yes, it's precious. And he loves to say, you son of a bitch, in that.
Now you're messing with the son of a bitch.
The Nazareth
He loves
song.
that song too. Anytime he can say bitch, he's pretty happy. Yeah. But no, Harvey he does. He loves recently his kick has been 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover by Paul Simon. Slip out the back, Jack. Make a new plan, Stan. You don't need to be coy.
He's got great taste.
He does. And he'll just be singing. We'll be in the car and a song will come on.
Because Lindsay don't want anything to do with those songs.
She doesn't.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. She'll know all the words because she's like me.
To the music she likes.
Yes. Lindsay has always been into like K-pop or like some song in like Japanese, that vibe. And it's just totally her. Like she's always kind of dug that kind of stuff for seemingly no reason. It makes more sense why Harvey would dig that music because it has been on. I'm not listening to K-pop. It's not my vibe.
Right.
And she heard it and she was like, yes. Lindsay loves a power pop song. She loves anything that is like a jump on a trampoline vibe. I'll tell you the one that really got her is Do You Believe in Life After Love by Cher.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes she'll just hear like a classic pop song and I tried to get her into Madonna because I remember how much I loved Madonna's Immaculate Collection. Mm-hmm. And I thought maybe that would like strike a nerve with her. It didn't really seem to move her. I was kind of disappointed.
Oh,
those are power songs right there. But like me, she'll still like know all the word, like, because if she's listening to it with me, she's going to pick up the words. But
Right. But it's not her first choice.
yes, yeah. No.
Like Harvey, he likes Queen. He likes Another One Bites the Dust.
Yep.
He's always like that.
Oh, that boy. He is. He's so funny. They're both into Hall & Oates right now because my stepdad and brother are in a Hall & Oates tribute band, and the kids, I listen to a lot of Hall & Oates anyways, and the kids are like all excited because they already knew all the words, and now if they go to the show, they're like, they know all the jams, and
Yeah.
so. But yeah, Harvey will just shock me sometimes. I'll be listening to something on shuffle, and I won't realize, that he's actually been paying attention in the back when I thought he wasn't, and he'll just start singing the words, and even Matt will look at him sometime like, dang, you know this? Like 70s, like stuff from the 70s,
Yes.
And he's been listening, and he likes it, so.
Huh. I wonder if he'll become a rock and roll star like the rest of the family.
I hope so. Maybe he'll follow right in Uncle Clay's footsteps. He had to turn in a project for school. They're learning about timelines, and it said past, future, present, and you could either draw pictures of yourself or like post pictures of yourself.
Okay.
And so we put his baby picture and his little My First Halloween when he was a newborn.
Aww.
And then we put a Polaroid picture from a vacation that we took of him with him at the beach.
Okay.
And then we took a picture of Uncle Clay and cut me out of it and posted it like, this is your future, buddy. You're going to look just like your uncle. And he just put, everyone says I look just like my uncle. So it's funny. I can't wait to show Clay. Clay will get a kick out of that.
I love it.
No, it's so bad. As I was going through the pictures, there was a picture of Clay at his first birthday party eating a smash cake, and Dirk and Lisa and Michelle were all standing around him. And I was like, oh, buddy, look. And then I was like, this is Clay. This isn't Harvey.
It's not Harvey.
I was like, oh, Harvey, look, a picture of you and Uncle Dirk. We don't really have one. And I was like, no, that's 1997. Yeah, they look so much alike. It's crazy.
They do. And Lindsay looks like you when you were little.
Yeah.
Your children look like you and Clay.
Yeah. Lindsay was like, sometimes I feel like my dad's not even my dad. Like, I don't act like him. I don't look like him. And I was like, no, that wavy hair is all your dad. I ain't got no wavy hair. Grandpa Keith got poker straight hair. I got poker straight hair. Clay's got poker, like, we all got straight hair. So that wavy hair is all your dad. You look just like your Aunt Amy.
Okay.
So she's got beautiful blonde waves.
Oh, okay.
And Herb had really wavy hair when he had hair. So I was like, no, you got some stuff from your dad. And I was like, my family's just got strong genes. Paige looks like Carrie. Tatiana looks like Carly. Mom looks like her mom. Like, I was like, our family's genes just always, it's like a KO knockout. We win.
Sure enough.
She's like, but how do I know? And I was like, I'm telling you. It's your dad's the only person I was with, Lindsay. Unfortunately, he's really your dad. I don't know what to tell you. I wish I could say like maybe it was
Yeah, it was.
It's not a toss up, honey. There was one guy.
It was immaculate conception.
Yeah, I was like, it takes two, and he's the only other one. So I promise you guys can do ancestry if you want, but it's him. She was like, okay. I'm like, I don't know why you don't believe me. Like, what is it? What do you think? Like, she does say this. She said this to me many times.
Her ears come from, I feel like her grandfather, like Herb's dad.
Really?
Doesn't his ears stick out like that? I feel like when I met him, I was like, oh, that's where Lindsay gets her ears.
Yeah, she does have really like, when she was born, it was bent forward like this. And they were like, the cartilage will relax a little bit. And it did to this. Her ears just.
Elf ears. Yeah, they're so cute.
They're precious. I don't know. I guess I didn't really notice.
I could just be thinking that, but I feel like, yeah.
I don't know. Herb's dad's like, his face is what sticks out to me. I can't really even picture its ears, or Mary's ears for that matter. Rest in peace. But are you ready to talk about murder, Mama?
Sure.
Let's talk about murder. Let's get back to Ida. That's my girl.
All right. Well, let's do a viewer discretion.
VD.
Today we are talking about murder and trying to think of what I need to say. I mean, I guess prostitution,
murder,
child prostitution. If that's going to trigger you, then you might not want to stick around.
GTFO.
Check out one of our other episodes.
If you want to hear me get on a soapbox about sex work, make sure that you've already watched part 1 of this. A lot of good information in part 1.
Yeah, go back to part 1 and watch that. It's worth it. And if you don't want to hear all of our rambling, then I'll
Fast forward.
put the little things in.
You can skip ahead.
There you go.
Ramble
Okay.
on. Sorry.
This is part 3. Oops. Okay, this is part 2. So, during her search for the missing women of the war zone on Central Avenue, which Central Avenue is actually the old Route 66. Did you know that?
No, I don't think I did.
Yeah, it turns into Central Avenue in Albuquerque, New Mexico. But if you were to continue on with it, it'd be routes, like there's 2 Route 66 now. There's the old one, and then there's a new one.
It's like the old Route 66, like in the movie Cars, where it's like that old town and all the cars are hoping that people are going to pass through like they used to, but they don't because they're taking the new Route 66.
Right, right.
This is where Mater's hanging out, is in the war zone.
Yeah, not. So Ida Lopez, the detective looking for these missing girls, got to know the working women of the streets. She actually referred to them as her girls. So each girl had a story. There were heartbreaking tales of abuse and neglect, drugs, and addicted women. And one thing that Ida Lopez said is that, they aren't the pretty women like the Richard Gere, Julia Roberts movie portrayed prostitution to be.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. And
And
basically,
certainly no one was coming to sweep them off their feet and save them.
right. Basically, she felt like the rest of the world had swept these women under the rug, and she wanted to see them as real people, daughters, not just people you overlook or brush off.
High risk people. She had also built a rapport with them. So these sex workers were less likely to talk to certain police that were like, hey, we're the police, we want to talk. And they're thinking like, we don't know you. Are you trying to bust us? Are you trying to shake us down? Are you trying to give us a hard time? Are you trying to rape us? Whatever it is that they're afraid that these people are going to do to them, they run off and they don't want to talk. They were willing to talk to her. They were willing to be like, yeah, like we heard that rumor too, or look out for this person, or like share their experiences, because they knew that she cared about them and genuinely wanted to listen to help them, not to use it against them or to judge them, or they felt like talking to her wasn't a waste of their precious time.
Yes. Usually Courtney doesn't know about the case, so she actually recommended the case to me to look into. That's why she's talking so much, because she knows.
Yeah, I watched
she loved the case.
I watched the first half of this on on a show, and it gripped me. It was so good, and I text Mom right away, and I was like, "You've got to look into this." And I gave her the deets to look it up.
So you're saying things that I have in my script, and then I've got to like not repeat it.
Oh, that's all right.
No. But yeah, that was the next thing that I was gonna say is she had to reassure them that she wasn't gonna run them in. That's not what this was about, and that's how she won their trust, because it was about trust. They didn't want to talk.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk to police.
Yeah, they don't want to be hassled and locked up. And
so basically, she was working the missing person cases alone at this time, and it took all of her time. She went everywhere she could to try to get leads. And one of the places that she went was drug rehab places. But they were unwilling to help there. For all of her canvassing, she kept coming up with nothing useful. And one thing she found out was that some of the women had been missing so long, their cases were cold. And what she did was form this unofficial task force with the cold case officer. So once a month, they would meet up with other agencies, including the FBI, and they discuss leads on the missing persons and the cold cases, as well as sexual predators in the area and all the unidentified remains that they were finding.
Yeah, these agencies at this point were in the, early to mid 2000s, and there was like national databases and things that would allow you to look beyond state lines and county lines and things to line things up. But the way that these cases were being entered into the system, without major details, there wasn't any hits on, like consistencies and stuff. So there weren't multiple agencies privy to things that maybe they should have been, or on track with things, or realizing things. And it was her idea to get together, like Mom said, someone from the FBI, someone from the cold case unit that was specifically like knowledgeable about all the cold cases in the area,
right,
and someone from the state agency, and get all of them in one room for her to be like, oh, well, I just heard a rumor that Cinnamon was stabbed and left in West Mesa. And then maybe the FBI is like, oh, I had heard, like, something that without being in that room and without having that idea in that brainstorming session, that they never would have been able to put some pieces together. And what I thought was cool is that they all seemed very willing to do that. Like, it was just once a month, so it wasn't, a crazy amount, but it was enough to like generate some new leads and then take the month to work them and then get back together and like, well, what did you find? And what did you find? And let's talk about that. Exactly. And they all seemed really excited about it. Mm-hmm. Everybody seemed like, this is a good idea. Like, I'm glad you thought of this. Like, this is helpful.
Yes, definitely. So one of the things that was a problem was truckers. And they had to investigate truckers.
Yeah.
Because these truckers are traveling across state lines, picking up a lot of girls. That's typically, the girls would hang out at truck stops and try to drum up business.
Yeah.
There was a history of truckers murdering girls that hung out at the truck stops. So they had to look into that. And it was just a problem because how do you trace everybody that comes through the area in and out? And,
yeah.
They're looking, they're leaving no leaf unturned. I think that's the saying. Well,
they're trying not to leave. They're trying not to leave any stone left unturned.
That's what it is, a stone, not a leaf.
But they realized like, oh, truck stops are a stone, but it's actually like a boulder that you can't turn over because nobody checks in. Not every truck that's there is known about, and not every driver gets out and, well, I'm so-and-so from such and such city, and this is who I am, and I'm just running through today on July 3rd, and then like, like they can be they get out, they take a piss, they get a blowjob, they keep going.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who the fuck they were.
Exactly.
So it's harder to nail that down.
Yep.
So it's just another thing that was an exhaustive effort to try to figure out if there was anybody or any commonalities, or that's where tying in the FBI, helps. Like, what do you guys have on truckers that have been previously listed as rapists or violent criminals or sexual misdemeanor, anything like that, and then we'll see if they have routes that interline with this area, just trying to work any angle they could.
By the end of 2005, Ida's list had grown to almost a dozen missing women who fit her profile. Soon, she had to ask for dental records and DNA swabs of the family members. And that was just in case they found remains. She always told the family members to hold on to hope that they will find their loved one alive.
Yeah.
But she wanted to be prepared and have all of the stuff she needed on her end, like the dental records.
Well, she's thinking ahead too. Time is only passing. At first, when your loved one's gone for a month or 3 months, you might still have their hairbrush laying around with some hair we can pull DNA from, or a toothbrush. But after over a year, it starts to degrade. You start to get rid of stuff. Stuff gets misplaced. And then, like, I hope that they had dental records, you know what I mean? Like anything that we can. So she just started thinking, I better start gathering some stuff to fall back on if we find remains before it's too late and nobody has any DNA to give me.
Right. So now, really, there hadn't been much news coverage on this, if any. There hadn't been any. But rumors are going around that there's a modern day Jack the Ripper in Albuquerque murdering women working in the war zone. There were a lot of rumors. And Ida herself had always felt in her heart that if she could find one victim, she would be able to find them all. Something told her she just felt that they were all together.
Yeah. And
so she always said.
She always felt it was all connected. There were still, up until this whole thing, even with the 1 month meetings with the FBI, there were definitely still people in her department that were like, you have no way of knowing that these are connected. Like, you're connecting dots that might be misleading because there's no connection between them. And she just was like, no, it's all whoever did this one, did that one and that one and that one. It's one person is to blame for this.
She felt so sure of that.
And then she also felt like wherever they are, they're together. Like, she just had these
if I find one,
instincts.
I'll find them all.
Yeah, she, like, that's what I'm saying. It was like, so I'm saying she had like she was a hero, but like a superhero. Like, she just had these, and she didn't let all of the naysayers and the time the cases sat cold and the non-believers, she didn't let any, she was like, no, I feel how I feel.
Yes.
Like, she just quietly, like, was like, no, this is the path I'm on. Mm-hmm. This is it. Yeah.
She followed her own intuition.
Yeah.
So for 4 years, she was investigating her missing girls diligently, mostly just watching her list grow. But having found a few of the girls that had been arrested. So some of the girls on her list that were missing were just girls that had been arrested.
So maybe the list got up to like 16 at one point, but she was able to get it back down to 11 by investigating and finding these hard to find girls.
Well, and maybe this part you didn't see. There were actually 18 women on her list that were not found.
That were never found.
Yes. So, out of the 18, 11
were eventually recovered.
But they were all on her list. So she still feels like they're all related, but they only found 11 of the 18 that were on her list. So it's 18 total.
I'll tell you. Well, I got to just remember to say this later. I have a feeling about where the other 7 were.
Oh,
but I won't
say
it. I won't say it now. I'll wait till, because I know you're going to
get to that part.
I know you're going to say something that's going to make me think of what I'm thinking. So
okay. So Ida took in the rumors along with all the tips, but the case was going nowhere. So then February 2nd, which is Groundhog's Day, I believe, 2009, a woman was taking her dog for a walk. They lived in this new subdivision, and it was actually one of many that had recently sprouted up in the desert west of Albuquerque called the West Mesa. The woman let her dog run free at this abandoned construction site that was in the area. And while the dog's running around, it found a bone.
Like out of the burbs, where the dog comes running through the yard holding a femur in its mouth, and he's like, this is a femur bone.
And she was like, well, this doesn't look like an animal bone. So she takes a picture of it with her phone and sends it to, I think it was her sister or somebody in the family that was a nurse. And the nurse said, that is definitely a femur. So she called police, and it turned out to be a human femur bone. And Ida heard about the find immediately. So immediately, she's got her radar up, and she's like, yeah. So also Dan and Camille. Okay, so Dan is one of the missing girls' father. Her name was Michelle Valdez. And Camille is Michelle's younger sister. They had seen the find on the news. So it's in the back of their mind that maybe this is Michelle's bone.
Yeah.
But apparently, the one thing they could tell is that the bone was not old or ancient. It's not like something like a
Indian burial ground or something. Yeah.
It was from a person who had recently died. They ended up finding more bones scattered over a 30-yard area of the construction site. And out of all those bones, that turned into evidence of 6 bodies. So Ida was out there digging and sifting through the sand, and it was like an Indiana Jones
archaeological dig, because it's the fucking desert. Like, it's not loose. There's some sand on top, but then it's like hard.
They had it gridded out, and it was, some of the dig was with heavy machinery to get the dirt, but some of it was very intricate, and they're just looking.
Yeah, it was like they did a dig, and they're thinking like, okay, we found a femur, so we're gonna find another femur and two ulnas and two, like they're thinking. And as they're digging, then they find a third femur, and they're like, well, fuck, that means there's another person here. Mm-hmm. So they keep digging, and then it just kept growing, and they just kept finding and finding.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bodies, and all were women, and all were Jane Does at this time.
All right in this one area outside of, like Mom said, it was an abandoned construction site
where they were planning to build more of the subdivision housing projects.
But it had stopped, and so there was like, if you look this way, there's like, oh, there's a neighborhood. But if you look this way, it's the fucking empty ass desert. It reminded me of Arrested Development when the Bluth family is going to build that. They're going to build a new subdivision of houses, and they build the one model house, but then the thing goes under, and so it's just this one house, and then desolate. Right. That's what it kind of reminded me of. They did get a whole neighborhood done, though,
So this was 2009 that they found the bone. Basically, in 2008, they had started the construction. And then the depression of 2008 hit.
Yes.
So that's when all of the banks went under and things got bad, and they stopped construction. If they hadn't have stopped construction, the bones would never have been found, because they would have built right over top of them. They don't have basements.
And that's where I think the other 7 girls are.
Oh, at the other subdivisions.
Because it wasn't really that far.
It wasn't.
The same stretch of that random ass desolate road would have led eventually into what was now that subdivision. Mm-hmm. It wasn't, I'm telling you, it's a stone's throw from where the houses were built to where they found the girls. It was not that far. So I just happened to think that the first 7 girls, or I don't know necessarily the order or whatever, maybe if I looked up the dates of when they went missing, it could potentially blow my theory if I looked a little bit into this. But my thought is that he was just driving further down that road at first and dumping them. And then once he filled that up, he just stopped driving as far and started burying them there. And they built the houses there, and they weren't looking for, they were just digging, pouring, doing their construction work, building houses. Nobody was going to notice if a machine crushed a skull or dug something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there wasn't digging. There was no basements. So if there's a shallow grave, they're just building on top of it.
Yeah.
So
they have to level, but past that, like some of those people might have bones under their house is all I'm saying, because I don't think that there was a secondary.
That makes perfect sense.
My thought is that there was never a secondary location. He thought that he had it made in the fucking shade out there.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
And he had been burying all along that area. And then they started the construction, and he was like, go.
I bet you're right.
But it's just
how are we ever going to know?
It's just a theory.
Well, Ida had an inkling that those bones belonged to her girls. And within weeks, her collection of dental records and DNA helped immensely to identify this one victim, Victoria Chavez. So she happened to be on Ida's list. And in the grave of Jane Doe number 8, they found a second set of tiny bones, a fetus. Jane Doe number 8 had been 4 months pregnant when she was killed. And she knew from talking to Dan that Michelle Valdez had been pregnant when she went missing. And it turned out to be Michelle Valdez. So Jane Doe was Michelle Valdez, and now she had to deliver this news personally to Dan, who she had been working diligently with over the years trying to solve this. It was very difficult for both of them, truly. But then Dan had to tell Angelica, who is Michelle's first child. And Angelica was only 12, and she was very much in denial that it could be her mom. She didn't want to hear it. It was very hard for her to hear that the West Mesa woman was her mother.
I don't know. This is all speculative, but do you wonder if the older you get, what is more peaceful to know? What is better to know? Like, would it be better feeling like your mom really chose drugs over you and dipped the fuck out and stopped coming to your birthdays and was just missing some, like, purposefully gone of her own will and feeling like abandoned and feeling shitty? Or would it feel better to know, like, no, my mom loved me and would have been around, but she was robbed of the ability? Neither one of them leaves you really feeling good, because one's your mom's fucking dead because she was murdered, and the other one is that your mom didn't care about you. Like, so I don't, like, could either one of them be better? What do you think? I think I don't know. That's hard.
I don't think there's any way to know, because it's so relative. It's relative to the age the person is that's wondering about it. It's relative to how you think. Are you a glass half full, glass half empty?
Yeah.
Type person.
What the fuck is your dog on about today?
Who knows?
Squirrel. Yeah.
So, for me personally, I'd rather know where the person is than wonder.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the definitive they were murdered than hope they were still alive, or not know, or wonder if they just decided to go off and leave me because they didn't care.
I'd say at 12, there was nothing that Angelica was going to hear that was going to make her feel good. That's a young age. You're not comprehending anything. I just meant the older she gets, is there any peace in at least knowing, like, not wondering every day, like, where's my mom?
I think so. I think the older you get, the more you want to know that.
Yeah. I think it would make, I don't know.
But
it's a weird thing to say. I think that I would feel better knowing, like, no, my mom did love me and care, and we did have a relationship. The only reason that it stopped is because that someone stole her life from her.
Yeah.
Not because she didn't love me. But I guess that's that's a super selfish, just my feelings way.
Which is typical for that age.
A child, yeah.
Yeah. If you go to those Erickson
because I guess if you would think more outside of yourself, you'd be like, no, I kind of wish my mom was at least alive, living her best life, giving blowies and scoring coke or whatever she wanted to do out there, but living, than knowing that she got murdered. I guess one makes you feel better about you, and one makes you feel better about that, like.
Yeah, I hadn't considered that, but yeah.
But you're right. No, the stages, 'cause young children lack empathy. They lack the ability to think about, like, what was my mom going through? You know what I mean? They just think about their feelings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So months passed before they were able to identify more women. But in the meantime, now they're searching definitely for a serial killer.
Yeah.
So investigators used some satellite photos from 2003 and 2004 to try to help find the killer.
It's fucking wild.
The
photos were wild.
They showed the scarring on the desert floor that was the graves of the missing women.
You could absolutely be like, there's fresh dirt. Like, in the satellite, it was there, like, all along. But who's, like, checking out the West Mesa on Google Images for no reason? Like,
I mean, it's something, though, that they'll probably do in the future if they have this kind of a scenario.
I wonder if you could train, like, well, I know you could train individuals. I'm sure we could pay people to do this, but if we're going to go with AI, could you at least train, like, AI to be like, go over Google satellite images and look for,
I bet they will,
overturned dirt, you know what I mean?
Like,
you could pay people to do that, and I'd prefer you did, but I'm just saying, if we're going to lean on AI for anything, could we lean on it for that?
I mean, it'd be such a vast area to have to search.
That's what
It'd
I'm
almost
saying.
have to be AI.
Yeah.
It'd be like looking for stars. I mean, it would take forever, but AI could do it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Considering that it would help people. Like, and I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different views on AI and what we should use it for, or if at all. And I completely understand that. But I'm just saying, in a world where maybe there's a little room for it, that'd be
the place for it.
Yeah. Like, I don't need AI, like, writing songs or sitcoms for me. Like, no, I want a human to do that. But AI can definitely spend the time burning their fucking eyes on a screen looking for overturned dirt, like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the images also showed tire tracks leading from the road to the bare spots in the vegetation. And then they would look at the next years and there'd be more bare spots. And it was just so easy to see, oh, these are just the graves of this serial killer's victims. But the most information that they got out of the images, they didn't get a vehicle or anything like that, but they did get to pinpoint when the killer was active, and then even more importantly, when he quit.
Yeah.
So now there's two detectives. There's Detective Todd Babcock and Sergeant Lou Heckroth were in charge now of the serial killer West Mesa case.
Yes.
All they knew was that he'd killed at least 11 women, because that's how many they found.
And you've got Idaho over here going like, it's 18, but they only found, you've got Ida being like, I know it's more than that how do I know? Because I know. And don't argue, because I was fucking right,
She did too. She knew, but they knew that the building site of the housing development was probably what caused him to abandon the site completely as a burial ground for his victims. That was in 2005. The site had been desolate up until in 2003 to 2005. The site had been desolate for a couple of miles. So it was just like his own personal cemetery for his victims.
So maybe that's why, maybe this is where I fell asleep, because maybe my theory is blown about the 7 women being buried under the houses, because they would have been able to track the area before the houses were up, and they would have easily, obviously, seen graves if they were there, and then houses over top of what is now known to be a grave, and they didn't.
Okay.
So so I must have fell asleep. So maybe what it is then is that he dumped 11 there, and then they started building, and he was like he drove up one time and was like, fuck, like, I gotta get out of here. There's tractors and people and all kinds of shit going on in my spot.
Right.
And that's when he chose a new area and did 7 more.
Okay.
So maybe that blows my theory then. Okay.
Well, then in 2008, there was a bad rainstorm. So this is after they had actually stopped the building. This is after the recession. They stopped building the housing. And then there was this really bad rainstorm. And that's how the bones got brought to the surface. So it had to do with this flooding. When the water sunk into the desert, it lifted the bones. It separated the...
Well, in the desert, the water doesn't seep into the ground like here. Like
it was like a runoff.
We're from Ohio, and so the ground is always kind of moist here. We have humidity all the time, and we get lots of rain and snow melting and stuff, and so ours seeps into the earth very easily. We deal with topsoil and things like that. In the desert, where it's dry all the time, the ground is so hard all the way right up to the top that they deal with flash floods there when it rains, which is why they don't have basements. Now that you're saying that, I remember I was talking to actually Tommy, who I brought up in another episode, that's friends with the Ghost Adventurers guys. Mm-hmm. He was telling me like, yeah, we don't have basements out here because when it rains, it absolutely won't seep in. It just runs off and it floods like fucking crazy. And so what happened is that it runs off all that whatever's loose on top, the sand and the loose dirt that's on top, that gives a little, it ran that off and the bones were more on top.
Yes.
So we've got this recession that happens, which is obviously national, global, that causes the site to be shut down. We have the site being in that same exact fucking area that caused dude to stop using it to begin with. Then we have the recession, which closes building down right as they approach where these bodies were so that they weren't buried over. And then we have this massive rainstorm that causes this flood that uncovers, like, there's just these things that are happening. Like,
Right.
if the recession never happened, the houses would have just continued.
built,
The next neighborhood
and we
would have
never
been
would have
built. We
found
never
the
would have found
bodies.
any of them.
Right.
So it's just these things that were happening that led to, like, uncovering these women. It's just like these women were like,
Yeah. At
you're not
first-
going to, you're not building over us. Like,
At first, it was 30 yards. It turned into the equivalent of 75 football fields that they found bones scattered. So they were overwhelmed, to say the least. And so they began using this ground penetrating radar.
Clover! Shh! Hush it!
That's what it is. They're doing yard work. They're mowing. And then they go over with the weed whacker.
It's just a lawnmower.
She's barking at the guy. He's probably weed whacking right behind our.
Zip it. Exhibit A.
So they're using this technology, ground penetrating radar, to find bodies under the ground or to find places where they should dig.
Yeah.
But regardless, the work was very slow going. So after more months, so far, all of the women who had been identified had been on Ida's list of missing women. The investigators thought it might be a local man who had a history of violence against women.
I could see that. Because he would also know that this area is untouched,
Yes.
you know? And then he was constantly there to continue to use it.
Yes.
So that kind of makes sense.
But then they found a victim who didn't fit the profile. She was Jane Doe number 7. She was a young black female. She had pink-tipped acrylic nails. And what they were thinking was, if she doesn't fit the profile, maybe there's a transient killer who had brought her there from somewhere far away, because she wasn't anybody on the list.
The Albuquerque list, right?
Mm-hmm. It turns out that her skull was intact, and also a partial hair weave was with it. So they were able to get the sketch artist to make a sketch of what they thought her face would look like. And she had a broken nose, and they kind of incorporated that into the picture. Obviously, the nose had been broken before death. It was healed. So it wasn't like a...
Right. It wasn't like...
It wasn't part of why she was murdered.
Right. It wasn't broken like that. It was a part of her face for some time of her life that it was...
Yes. Also, her wisdom teeth hadn't been fully developed, so they thought she was probably around 14 or 15. This is the girl that I'm telling you about, the 13-year-old. This investigator, this woman, she searched...
Ida?
No, this is a different woman.
Oh, a different...
Because now they've got a whole team of people on the case. It's not just Ida.
Okay.
This is now a serial killer. It's definite. They've got all these people on it.
Okay.
She decides to search through the missing children's website, and she looks at thousands of pictures, and slowly she narrowed it down to like 100 people that it could be, that maybe the sketch artist, it looked like 100 girls.
Okay.
Then she would roll out different ones, and then 30 girls, and then 10. And finally, she narrowed it down to one girl who seemed to match in face, age, and biography.
Okay.
And the girl's name was Selania Edwards.
Okay.
She was a 13-year-old runaway from a group home in Lawton, Oklahoma in 2003.
Okay.
And they got her dental records, and damned if it wasn't her. That she looked through. I mean, all she had was a sketch
All she's
artist.
just doing is going, nah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Again, just more divine intervention. It feels like, you know. The problem was they don't know how she got from Oklahoma to New Mexico, so they're doing a little more digging. They're wondering, and this is what they're thinking, is that maybe there's a prostitution ring that moves from city to city. They already know this happens. and Denver happened to be another city on the circuit. So Detective Babcock, he found that Selenia had been arrested for prostitution in Denver.
Okay. So if we can tie together the prostitute circuit between these cities and a company whose long haul 3-day trip is often from Denver, picking up logs to take to somewhere in New Mexico, like this company has a route that hits these, like we can start to narrow down.
Yeah, they're just doing everything they can to figure out. This is just like a huge lead for them.
Yeah.
You know? So basically, she was released from jail in July of 2004, which was the same year all the other West Mesa women had gone missing.
So this girl was the same age as me, basically. Right around. Because in 2004, my birthday's in November, I would have turned 14.
Mm-hmm.
I was 13 the rest of that year. Mm-hmm. So this girl's, I can't even fucking imagine.
A life of prostitution, having been in jail for almost a year for prostitution, yeah.
It's wild. Because this was all getting uncovered. 2009 is when I graduated. So this was all like hitting the news, like, oh my God, a serial killer in Albuquerque was hitting the news big when I graduated high school. So this girl had been dead 5 fucking years already. Is that the end of today's?
Yes.
Did you?
I was looking. I wanted to continue.
Oh,
but no, I ended it there. So you got to tune in to find out what happens.
Okay. And next episode I'll have less to say, like I said, because
she fell asleep.
I fell asleep and didn't see how it ended. And then once I told Mom, like, oh, we should cover this, then I didn't want to watch how it ended because I was like, well, I'll just be surprised with everybody else. But okay. I knew it was a good one, though. It was a story so worth being told, just about doing what you're led to do, following your heart, listening to your intuition, not letting people, the dad had to follow his intuition.
Not listening to the naysayers.
Not listening. Like the dad had to be like, yeah, no, I'm well aware that my daughter's a trashy fucking drug addict. Got it. She's missing. Something's wrong. Like, can anybody please take me seriously? Like, did I look at all the X's on my calendar? Did I come to you all of those times? Like, my baby's missing. No. Something's wrong. Like, I know something's wrong. You know, it was him following his intuition. It was Ida following her intuition. And,
absolutely.
The neighbor following her intuition to call in and be like, my dog found a bone and it doesn't seem right. Like, this seems like a human bone. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It was,
because some guy walking his dog might have just been like, whatever.
This, not my problem.
Bear.
It's already dead. Yeah. Like, oh, of course, we're in the fucking desert. Somebody had died of dehydration. Who cares?
Right. Right.
Like, or this other cop following her intuition to just be like, you know what's going to be the best? I'm going to look at every fucking missing person photos. I'm going to narrow it down and pull all the black girls. And then I'm going to start from there. Because I feel like I've worked in situations that obviously weren't as important in the grand scheme of things. But I have definitely worked with people before where there has been options to how to go about getting a task done and then being like, I don't know what you expect me. This is impossible. I can't do this. And you're like, it's not impossible. It's just going to be a little bit tedious, but we're going to do it. And there are definitely people that if given the choice would just be like, this is too, steep a climb. I'm not doing this. Where is this going to go? This is going to be too hard. I'm not doing all this work. And that happens in every field, including police work. There are people who just don't want to be bothered in any profession. And we're dealing with a lot of people who did not at all mind being bothered.
No.
And they were not afraid to overturn every fucking stone. They were out there in the desert flipping every stone, right?
Yes.
Like, I knew we had to cover this story. It was just such a good one. So I can't wait to see what happens because I don't know if anybody ever got fucking charged for, like, I don't know if they ever found this person yet or not. I don't know. So
you have to wait till Tuesday, but we'll be dropping it Tuesday at 4 a.m. to find out how this ends.
Yes. So
if you have stuck around this far and
if you sticked it out,
then we appreciate you. Please consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. If you are,
Do it.
we love you.
It. You know that we'll be rocking to it.
We love our people. We've got a lot of people from India. We've got people from America, a few from Australia. We just got it's scattered everywhere.
Do we have any Canadians yet?
We do have Canadians.
A
To Canada. So I don't know how to talk in a Canadian accent.
Canada. Oh, I'm from Canada. That's definitely it.
I suck. So
they live in houses in Canada. Okay. Come on. I love you so much, Mom.
I could do Australian.
Not bad. That's not bad. Crikey. Such an asshole.
Yowee. Biddy. I can do
think about Crocodile Dundee. You love that movie.
I can do Irish if I think about it for a minute. They have a way of talking that's...
I watched a lot of Peaky Blinders. You'd think I would picked up on more Irish.
I can do Irish if I think about it for a minute. But no, I could do g'day mate. That's Australian.
There
right?
we go.
That's from Crocodile Dundee.
Yes.
Yeah. And then...
That's not a knife. Now this is a knife.
There's a bunch of different English accents. There's British, there's Cockney, there's, and I could do a couple. I have to think about them for a minute though.
I watched Spice World enough growing up that there's just a part of my soul that's British now.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, we love you. Thank you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We drop episodes Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays when we remember. When I say we, I mean me, because I'm the one that does the dropping.
Yeah,
and
it's all her fault because I don't do shit around here. So blame her.
Courtney is here.
My mom can barely do an American accent over here. She just doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about.
Yeah, so what did I say? We discovered
it.
Oh, goodness.
I discovered a body.
Yeah, no, I do twist my tongue a little bit.
She doesn't do drugs, guys, and she's not drunk.
You'd think that I was reading,
between your hiccups and how you say everything, people definitely think that you're like a low-key alcoholic. She's over here pouring vodka in her ass before every show.
That's what it seems like.
She's not, I promise.
I really don't drink. Let me tell you, I was so bummed. I went to see Clay's show. So my son Clay, he's 29. He has a band.
The Undecided is the name of the band because they are
look them
all
up on YouTube.
Indecisive.
I'll put a little blurb so you can look them up. And the big guy, that's my son.
Just some of the absolutely most talented local musicians you've ever heard.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody in the band is amazing.
They keep getting comments from everybody like the best band in Northeast Ohio. People are like constantly commenting on there. They are like low key. You look up, like looking at them, you're like, what the fuck is going to happen here? You got a Muslim playing drums. You got this Mexican guy with his hat on playing guitar, and then my fucking gorilla ass brother, brother. And then the bass player looks like just this clean cut boy from like a boy band, and then Bart is
the lead singer,
but he's like shorter than standing next to Clay. Everybody looks short, and then he just belts the they all start, and you're like, holy shit,
they're good.
Yeah, they're so good.
So I went to see them. They played, it was like a debut at this little club on the lake. And I don't want to give any names out, but
yeah. You can like canoe up to this, get out, get a drink, go back to canoeing.
Yeah,
it's
you
a cool
can dock
place.
your boat and go in. There's a lot
of little places around this lake area. It's like a little scene locally here.
Why am I afraid to say the name of the lake?
I don't know.
Stupid.
I feel like we can say Portage Lakes.
It was Upper Deck.
We already talk about being from North Canton all the fucking time.
Right. Anyways,
I thought maybe you knew something I didn't know.
I don't know nothing. I know nothing. I am merely an employee.
Yeah, fair.
That's from a movie. Have you ever seen the movie Stroker Ace? Burt Reynolds and Lonnie Anderson.
I love Burt Reynolds. No, I've never seen it.
Oh, God. We have to watch it. It's hilarious.
I bet it is.
And I'll tell you what's really hilarious is the end when they do the bloopers.
Oh, Burt Reynolds bloopers are always so good.
Bloopers,
yes.
yeah. All right, but anyways, so they played at the upper deck. When I got there, they started at 6. I got there at 10 after 6. I could barely find a parking spot. The place was completely packed.
The weather was beautiful that night.
All
Everybody
the little
in
motorcycle
Ohio
spots. Oh, yeah.
Everybody in Ohio is itching to get the fuck out of the house after a long winter. So I'm not surprised they were packed. I thought, won't start getting busy till 8. And Mom's like, nope, they're busy. It started.
Yep. It was jamming. And so I walk inside. I'm like, I'm never going to find anywhere to sit down. There were a few seats at the bar open. So I was like, thank God. So I sit down at the bar. You can't hear anything. It's this big room. They've got garage bay doors open to let the fresh air in. And the sound is just bouncing off this huge cathedral ceiling in this room. And it's loud. And the bartender's like, what can I get you? And I'm like, can you make me a pina colada? And he goes, no. And I was just like...
He said, let me check. Nope.
It's like, basically, we're doing bottles of beer and shots here, basically, because it was that busy. So I couldn't get a pina colada. That's the only drink that I wanted. And I order a Diet Coke. But now I'm like, I'm spending like, $3 for a drink to sit there for 45 minutes and listen to my son's band. And that seems like a waste of space and time for the people. They want people to come in and spend money.
Yeah, like shot after shot. Right.
Not drink a Coke and leave. So I was like, all right, I'm going to order a drink. So I ordered a shot of JD because that's my favorite.
Yes.
And I ordered a bottle of Bud Light. And I drank those. And that's the first time I've drank in a long time. And so then I couldn't drive Uber. So I went home and went to sleep afterwards. I stayed for 45 minutes and then I left.
What was even the point?
I just want to go have support. I want to make
all right,
the
you showed your face.
establishment,
Okay,
make some
right.
money. I love to listen to the band, but now I would have stayed all night if you had been able to come with me.
That's true. It's also harder when you're sitting by yourself.
My husband was going to come with me, but then last minute, somebody at a winery that plays canceled, and they called my husband to see if he could fill in. So him and my other son went to fill in that gig. So we didn't get to go watch my son's band, which was our original plan.
Yeah.
In which case we'd have stayed the whole night. But I'm not
she
going to
called
sit
me
there.
and I was like, I have kids, remember? And she was like, yeah, right. That's right.
I thought the kids were
I
their
know, I'm
dads.
just teasing you.
I know you have children.
I'm just teasing you.
So I wasn't going to sit there by myself.
I always sit at Clay's. Actually, I kind of prefer it when no one's there because then there's no obligation to have a conversation. I really just get to enjoy the music and then go have a break with Clay and we get some time to talk, just brother and sister. We talk with the band and then he goes back to playing. Those are my favorite when I can just sit at the bar by myself and just listen.
Well, I never looked at it that way. I always feel awkward.
I don't feel awkward anywhere I am at any time. I am exactly where I'm supposed to be always. Fuck everybody. And I'll order water all night. I'll sit right up and take a spot at your bar and have you pour me fucking waters all night. I don't care.
I don't think that way. I'm the same way with Ubering when I have to use the bathroom and I have to stop at a gas station.
You're always like, oh, I should buy something. And I'm like, fuck those places. They make plenty of fucking money.
I will not go in and use their bathroom without buying something.
If it doesn't have a sign on the door like patrons only.
Yeah, no. I guess it's just how I was raised. So I obviously
guess you raised me different. Yeah,
no. And I did. No, but I don't even know how. Because you said she's not drinking.
Yeah,
I don't drink. That's the first time I drank, and
she's
I don't know how
lush.
long.
She would be drunk instantly.
Well, since my cruise when I drank my ass off, which was only a week ago.
I'm sure that was good for your diabetes.
It was. I had one pina colada after another. They're so good. They make them so good, and then they put that fresh pineapple in it.
Know.
Ugh.
I know.
I'm just like,
I get it.
Yeah. But normally I don't drink.
I had a strawberry daiquiri on mine, and I got the kids' virgin strawberry daiquiri. So
I love banana daiquiris. You ever had one?
No. Is it a mix or is it fresh bananas? I don't like banana flavored things. I don't think you can mimic a banana.
Okay.
It does not taste like a fake banana flavors grosses me out. I love a banana though.
I had banana daiquiris on the cruise. They were good.
I'd have to try it to see if I was down or not.
Okay.
I don't normally drink strawberry things either, but I had a sip of Marissa's and I was like, this tastes like actual strawberries. It was pretty good.
Okay. Well, I'm not an alcoholic.
She just doesn't know words. That's all.
That's right. I'm just an idiot.
No. You just get tongue-tied.
So we appreciate you for putting up with us and stick around. You want to come and find out the final conclusion of
Part 3 is coming and it's going to be good. I can't wait.
It'll be good.
Or it's going to be terrible. I don't know, but I'm excited to hear it no matter what.
We're sorry you have to wait the whole weekend and Monday to get through Tuesday.
Oh, no, we love a cliffhanger.
So it's just the way that I didn't plan it out very well.
Tune in for the exciting conclusion. The final chapter.
The chapter plays.
Yeah.
I know, you dirty birdie. They're called cliffhangers.
Oh, I love misery. All right, guys. Subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.